Well, it may still be February, but March Madness will tip off Wednesday night in both Holland and Grand Rapids.
Yeah, the MIAA semifinals will be hosted by both Calvin College and Hope College. The two women's teams splitting the season series after Hope's win yesterday, sharing the conference title. So they had to flip a coin to find out who would be the #1 seed. It was Calvin's only win on the day. They are the #1 seed.
Heads or tails.
That's right. As for the game, there was no arguing the play of the Lady Dutch and Liz Ellis in this one. They came out storming. That's Ellis there, stopping and popping for 3. They were on top 30-16. Still in the first half. Look at the no-looker from Brittany Berry. Down low to Maura McAfee. Hope was up 47-21 at the break. Second half, Calvin tried to get back in it as Kelsey Irwin with the 3 ball gets it to fall. But it just was not enough as Liz Ellis here with a floater off the glass. She had 20 points in this game. Hope won it 65-50.
We got off to a hot start. I thought offensively and defensively, did a nice job trying to keep them out of their favorite spots on offense. And as a result, I think that we were pretty effective.
I mean, they're real comfortable playing at home. I mean, they shot the ball really well. And they took advantage of the screen roll, and they just played a really good first half.
The Calvin men wrapping up the outright MIAA title and improving to 13-1 in the conference, 22-3 overall with a win over Olivet Saturday at Van Noord Arena. That's Tyler Cruz hooking up with Tyler Dykstra. That's a pretty play off the glass. They led at 32-19 at that point. Then early in the second, Matt DeBoer up and over to Daniel Stout for the slam. It was 54-36 Calvin. Later off the loose ball, Tyler Dykstra. He had 14, 2 of those there, plus the foul. It was 60-44, and then Matt DeBoer getting to the work on the putback here. Folks, Calvin out-rebounded them 58-27. They had 25 offensive boards that accounted for 37 follow-up points. The Knights take the title big, 86-60. And Calvin men's basketball coach Kevin Vande, Streek, kind enough to join us in studio tonight. And first of all, congratulations. First title in 3 years for the school, 30th in school history.
Yeah, thanks very much. It's a great tradition at Calvin, and we're very excited.
What did this one mean to you?
Well, it's hard to start talking about this year without last year. Last year was kind of a tough one for us in a lot of ways. We lost a lot of guys to injury and that sort of thing. But, we just kind of felt God was with us and helping us to persevere and fight through and learn a little patience. And so when this year started, we had 9 guys who had started at some point in the last 2 years. So to come back with all that, again, I'd say God was with us, and we just scored a few more points this year.
Just 3 losses on the season, 1 in conference play. It comes obviously to Hope, but to get to that point and to get through that grinding schedule, what is really the strength of this team that's gotten you here?
Well, again, I think the experience factor. We really are only playing 1 true sophomore. So those guys have been through the battles. They trust what we're trying to do. They trust themselves and each other. And so you get the highs and lows of games, and things aren't always going to go well. And they seem to have just persevered through to grind it out.
Can you talk about your senior class? And along with the injuries last year, you were a young team, great senior class, and Matt and Tom, Brian, Dave. I mean, just talk about the leadership they have brought to your younger players this year.
Well, I'm very proud of those guys. They have been in our program a very long time. They have led us on the floor. They've led us off the floor. Just very proud of the young men that they are. And then when you talk about their skills on the basketball floor, they all bring something a little different to the table, but they're very unselfish and yet very competitive, determined to win.
And you talk about that experience, but you do have some young guns on this team, and Tyler Cruz, Tyler Dykstra, that help to score some points, play a little defense. So there's a bright future outside of this year when some of the senior leadership graduates. Talk about those young guns and what they lend to this team.
Yeah, I think the first one is Jordan Brink, who missed all of last year and is an outstanding talent and a very good player and has had a really good year as an off guard for us. Tyler Dykstra from Holland Christian is just a super athlete and played last year maybe 10 minutes a game and really surprised me with how much he improved in the off season. And then Tyler Cruz, as a junior, has really anchored us. It's been great to see his progress from contributing some as a freshman to now being our anchor as a junior.
When I talked to you before the first Hope game, I asked you if it's fun to coach. You said not really sometimes. How about the postseason? Is it? I mean, it's the same kind of stress thing, but is it fun for you in the postseason?
Oh yeah, it's fun. You know, I always say any problem in the NCAA tournament is a good problem because you could not be having it. You know, and the same is true in the conference tournament. So it's exciting. It's, you know, the winner go home kind of thing is in Division III. It's kind of how we need to look at it, and you just have a little extra hop in your step when you get to tournament time.
We were talking a little bit just off camera about how the conference tournament is up for grabs. There were so many different pairings, so many different ways this could have gone, and you guys are paired up with Adrian. By the time you get to tournament play, you know everybody so well. What is it about Adrian that scares you?
Yeah, I told our guys last week, you know, we seemed to be a little disappointed after winning a close one on Wednesday. And on Thursday, I said, you know, I just did a quick rundown of the entire league schedule, and it looked to me like a little over 60% of the games came down to 2 minutes. Well, I looked at the MIAA tournament in the last 3 years, and those games look like almost 75%. So it just gets to be a grind, and you just have to play the next play and keep working because you do know each other so well. It's hard to score.
About 20 seconds left, Coach. You haven't been to the NCAA tournament in several years now. You're ranked 19th. A lot of people expect you to be there. How do you tell the guys you can't look towards that because you still have this, obviously, the MIAA tournament to take care of first?
Well, we look at the conference tournament as the NCAA tournament, in all honesty, because the at-large bids are so rare. You just have to come with the mentality of we need to win and move on, starting with this week.
All right, well, we appreciate you coming in tonight. Good luck on Thursday, and have some fun.
All right, thanks, guys.